Z, giornale radio.
Good morning and welcome to this edition of Zeta Radio News. I'm Salvatrice Dannacampo. In the Middle East, Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon killed 31 people and injured 40 others on Tuesday, as the military escalated its bombardment. Meanwhile, Israel says a major airstrike in Gaza has killed the top Hamas commander. Joel Ked has the details on this development.
Israeli Minister of Defense says their latest airstrike killed Mohammed Odeh, Hamas top military boss. The attack hit a crowded area in Gaza City while civilians were out shopping for an upcoming holiday. Doctors at the scene say 3 people are dead and dozens are hurt. Rescuers are still trying to get through the wrecked building. Israel claims they tracked the commander for months before hitting his safe house, while Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office stated that Odeh was one of the architects of the October 7 massacre. Hamas did not comment about the attack yet. Even though both sides agreed to a ceasefire in October, the violence has not stopped.
7 Italian flotilla activists expected today at Fiumicino Airport. Still awaiting news on 10 people arrested in eastern Libya, including 2 Italians. Rocco Matone has the full report.
The flotilla land convoy was headed to Gaza when armed Libyan militias raided their camp near Sirte. An Italian activist says masked security forces ordered demonstrators onto buses, threw away tents, and used tear gas to clear a mosque where several women had taken shelter. One participant reportedly suffered a head injury during the clashes. 7 Italian activists are now being escorted to Misurata and are expected to arrive back in Italy today at Fiumicino Airport in Rome, but no direct contact has been made with 10 other activists detained in eastern Libya, including 2 Italians. Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani says Rome is working with authorities in Benghazi to secure their release and return home.
A young man has died following a violent fight at Milano Certosa train station. For more details, here's Ellen Casa.
The police are investigating the fight that occurred late last night shortly after 10 p.m. The victim, a 22-year-old man of foreign origin, was stabbed to death following the altercation. The incident, which took place on Platform 6, involved several individuals who reportedly fled the scene on a train. After the attack, the victim was transported to Fate Bene Fratelli Hospital with a wound to his left leg. Another person who was with the victim, presumably a family member, was taken to Sacco Hospital with less serious injuries. Resuscitation procedures and initial stabilization efforts were carried out before arrival at the hospital, but due to the severity of his condition, the victim could not be saved.
In Madrid, Spain's civil guard arrived at the Socialist Party's headquarters in a court-ordered operation linked to a sealed investigation into alleged illegal financing. Matilde Risi takes a closer look.
At dawn in Madrid, Spain's civil guard carried out a court-ordered operation at the Socialist Party's headquarters on Ferraz Street. The raid is tied to a confidential investigation into alleged illegal financing. This operation is separate from the so-called Plus Ultra case, a controversy over a government-backed rescue loan granted during the pandemic to Plus Ultra airline. The new investigation lands at a moment of maximum pressure for Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, whose government is already facing a string of corruption allegations. Investigators are now seeking documents and evidence, and the political fallout for Spain's ruling party could be serious.
NASA has unveiled new plans for a permanent moon base, including robotic landers, drones, and astronaut vehicles set to launch before the end of the decade. Companies including Blue Origin and Astrobotic will help build the technology, as the US races China to return humans to the lunar surface by 2030. Second round of Roland Garros will see 3 Italians today after the opening in Paris has reshaped the draw, positioning Yannick Sinner in a highly favorable spot. Davide Bertuzzi brings us the story.
Yannick Sinner's path at Roland Garros looks much easier after the first round saw a collapse of big names on the Italian side of the draw. The biggest threats before the semifinals were Alexander Bublik, number 10 of the ranking, and Daniil Medvedev, number 7, who lost a shocking 5-set match to the number 99 Adam Walton. The second round turns into a defining test for three other Italians playing today. The 19-year-old Federico Cina kicks off at 11 a.m., facing Jesper de Jong. Later on, Jasmine Paolini will play against Argentina's Solana Sierra. And finally, at 3 p.m., Lorenzo Sonego, who is turning his season around 5-game losing streak in Barcelona, will face the world number 25 Tommy Paul.
This concludes today's news updates from Zeta. I'm Salvatrice Dannacampo, here in the studio with Andrea Charur and Joe Tulin. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Z, giornale radio.